This is Two Chicks Talkin Flicks, where we review movies. Love them or hate them, someone's got to do it. So enjoy the show. Hi, I'm Sarah.
And I'm April.
And this is Two Chicks Talkin Flicks.
And anything else that gets in the mix.
So, April.
Yes, Sarah.
It's May.
Yes, it is.
We finally finished your April's movie month madness.
And it wasn't long enough.
It only extended to another month, but
Exactly.
still not long enough. But now it's our silent podcast partner's birthday coming up.
Yep.
And she has wanted us to do this movie almost every single recording.
Yeah.
Since we started.
Mm-hmm.
And I decided that because her birthday's coming, it was only fair that we did a movie she's wanted.
We'll give her one every
Right?
3 years.
Exactly, as we should.
Mm-hmm.
So, April, would you like to tell the people what movie we chose?
We decided to watch The Goonies.
Oh, that's not the button I thought it was.
Uh-huh.
I thought it was this. Nope, that's not it. Nope.
You're never going to get it.
There we go.
You're never going to get it.
No, I'm not.
That's okay.
It's more fun that way.
Yeah.
Honestly. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we decided to do Goonies.
Yep.
Because it's one of my sister's favorite movies.
Yep.
And she gets to have a voice.
Yeah.
Even though she won't be on this podcast.
So it's the first time I've seen this movie all the way through.
Ah.
Like, I definitely remember the ending, but I don't remember the beginning.
No.
Especially the car chase. Like, that is a no.
Yeah.
I remember
remember that.
Data crashing into the house.
Uh-huh.
You know, I remember that part. I remember the kid flying into the trees.
Yeah.
I remember that. But like, I guess I remember the big part.
Yeah.
And the ending, but like, it's been so long.
Mm-hmm.
So
my sister always wants to watch this movie, regardless of the podcast or not. Like, if it's on TV and she sees it,
It's her
she'll
comfort
watch it.
movie.
She loves this movie. Growing up, she always wanted to watch this movie, and I don't care for it most of the time. Like, it's just not my movie. I was 2 when this came out, so it just wasn't like a movie that I gravitated towards. She also really likes Indiana Jones,
Love
The
it.
Mummy, all
Love
of those
it.
things. Like, I think she's,
Explorer.
yeah, I think she's just really into like Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yes.
You know, all that
National
stuff.
Treasure.
Yes. All like literally all of those. She loves those movies.
Same.
They're just not my favorite movies. So I like hardly ever want to watch it. With that being said, I thought I'd be a good sister and let her watch it.
For once, right?
Once. So basically, we'll just give a little synopsis. So it's a group of kids. They're all being forced out of their homes due to a rich company, developer who wants to put in a golf course. And so on their like last couple days, the kids go up to the dad's attic, and the dad never wants anybody go up there. They find this treasure map, and the dad used to tell the kid stories about One-Eye Willie and a treasure and all this stuff. And they decide to go look for it. And at the beginning of the movie, there is a car chase because someone escapes jail, and they try to blow up the jail, and they get away, and they are also looking for the treasure.
I didn't think they were looking for the treasure. They were just hiding out.
Oh, were they?
Yeah.
Okay, they
Like,
just
they didn't
happened to
even
be there.
believe the kid when the other one, until they found that medallion.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, they were
They
just
just happened
hiding
to
out
be there.
in this old abandoned restaurant by the sea.
Right.
So
And so they follow the kids. It's very Home Alone, you know, and they find the treasure, and then they get captured, and then the boat escapes and sails off into the distance.
Yep, it's gonna
becomes Titanic or whatever.
It will eventually.
Yeah. And so that's the movie.
Yep.
Have a good night. Let's see here. So one thing that I noticed in the movie is that Chunk reminds me of the security guard from Vacation. You know, when they go to Wally World and
oh yeah,
John Candy is just like keeps talking, and the way he's talking reminds me of Chunk. That's all I could think the whole time he was talking.
Yeah, all these kids were hella annoying.
Right?
They were.
Yeah.
They're always shouting. Like, I can't make out what they're saying most of the time.
Yeah.
Like, they are terrible explorers. Because believe you me, like, I've gone into places I shouldn't have been, and you're quiet.
Right.
Okay? You sneak around and you're quiet, you know?
Yeah, Chunk would be terrible at this.
Yeah, no, it's not even realistic.
Yeah.
You know?
So speaking of the kid, I will say it is realistic in the sense that it sounded like what kids would sound like in a group. You know what I mean? Like,
So there are obviously moments when they would freak the fuck out,
yeah.
but they were constantly on a high, you know?
Like just the kids like skipping around and stuff. It felt like
I
someone
could see that.
really envisioned kids in this movie and like how kids would react and how kids would talk. And like they were all talking over each other. And I like that.
Yeah, like that would happen. It's
Yeah.
just, obviously it's a movie. Movies are always going to be to an extreme.
Yeah.
I'm just looking, when I was watching this, I thought about when we would go exploring.
Yeah.
You know, and we would go places where we weren't supposed to be. Like we would go into abandoned buildings.
Yeah.
Like that's just a thing kids did, right? And you're really quiet. You're very careful. And even though nobody's in the building because it's abandoned, you still don't want to make any sounds in case there's someone, in case there's like a homeless person or someone actually in there.
Yeah.
There never was, you know?
It's because
and then
imagination.
once it's safe, you start breaking glass, you know?
Yeah.
Because like, I mean, there's already broken glass. It's not like we're the first ones there.
So when like where my house was, in behind the houses was a park, and then behind the park beyond it was train tracks or like a forest.
Yeah.
And there was a fence, but there was like a hole in the fence and you could go through it, and we'd be all like, oh my God, we're the first ones back here. And then you see like bottles and stuff. Kids used to hang out back there all the time.
Same. I lived by some train tracks too, and we would go play out there.
Yeah.
Like that's what kids do. You go play on freaking train tracks.
Right.
And we would go down the other side of the hill, and there was like this hole in the ground, but it was concrete. Like I feel like it was intentional, you know, and then it kind of became abandoned, and like I guess rocks kind of covered up the entrance. But like, of course, when we discovered it, we thought, oh my God, it's super cool. So then it was super dark in there. Like we could see like as far as you could see. So then of course we ran home, got flashlights, ran back. Man, that little room, first of all, wasn't even that deep. And of course, it had graffiti all over it because somebody had already been in there. Yeah. And I believe there were bottles.
Yeah.
But we didn't bother like getting in there because there was glass. So like it wasn't a new discovery.
Like kids these days will never understand life when we were kids. Like literally, I remember, and I'm pretty sure I probably talked about this before, but we spent a whole entire day at the dead end in my like housing area trying to build a tree house with one piece of wood and a pocket full of nails.
We have done that as well. We had several broken planks of wood.
Exactly right.
Okay, but because my dad is in construction, we actually had nails and hammers. So we had the proper equipment.
We had nails, we had hammers.
I got stuck up there because I was the oldest kid in my neighborhood and all the kids were my brother's age. So of course, being the responsible adult, you know, which was like a teenager, I volunteered to climb up there and build up, so they wouldn't get hurt.
Yeah.
And then once I got up there, I got like vertigo and I got scared to come down. And mind you, it wasn't even that high.
No.
Okay. And then my brother and his little friends are like, jump, jump, jump. We'll catch you. We'll catch you. Okay. They're little kids. I eventually very slowly climbed back down, but they were so full of confidence that they were going to catch you. And you could just see them with their flappy, thin little arms, like, we'll catch you.
We'll totally catch you.
Oh my God. If I had landed on those kids.
So, overalls were like real big.
I was never into overalls. Don't think I've ever owned any.
Yeah. Well, they were huge when I was a kid during this whole trying to build a treehouse time. And I had in the little bib part, I'd put all the nails. And then in the side, I had that little strap where you would put your hammer.
For the hammer.
That's exactly where I put my hammer.
That's what it's for.
And there was like two other girls that also had the same outfit. So we just had all the hammers, all the nails, and like 3 boards. And we got them nailed to a tree as the stairs, and then we had no more wood. This was an all-day project.
Yeah.
And now kids are just like, oh, the internet's down. What am I going to do?
Yep. I remember one time we found an abandoned boat. Tell me, how the fuck did an abandoned boat just end up nowhere?
You know what's weird?
What?
My dad had a boat from a friend. I don't know what happened, but it was on the side of our house forever. And we would play on the boat too.
Exactly. That's what you do. We would play. Like when you had a bike, you would just take off.
Yeah.
You know how they'd be like, just stay in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Okay. You never did. You never did. You would
did,
just,
but
like,
it was a big neighborhood. So
like you would just go.
yeah. As long as you were home when the streetlights went off. You know,
I have this distinct memory. When me and my brother were little, it was pouring rain. I feel like it had to have been summer because it wasn't cold.
Yeah.
And we were literally playing outside in the rain. No.
Yeah.
In the street.
Yeah.
I mean, where we lived, the house was down. So we got all the runoff water coming down. Yeah. And we were like 2 houses from the corner where the drainage ditch was. I remember sitting down on the floor and me and my brother sticking our feet inside the drainage and feeling the water rush by us going into the sewer. And it's like, like just think about it. If I saw kids today playing in the rain in the gutter, I would be like, oh my gosh, these kids are going to get hit by a car or something. like we were just out there. Like it's not, and I don't know because I don't remember, but I do not believe my mother was like on the porch watching us.
No, probably not.
Like,
you know,
I don't even know if she knew we were outside.
Okay, I say probably not, but I know my mom used to watch us out the window. She just did it where we didn't notice that she was doing it. So she might have been watching you, just you didn't know.
I mean, I have no idea. Like I said, we were 2 houses down and then we were sitting on the street.
Yes, we did the same thing. We played out in the rain in the middle of the street all the time. Actually, today, I would have loved to have been outside playing in the rain. I did that in college. There was a time where my friends lived in this apartment and they had this big hill. And I went over there. I was like, she said something about going outside and playing. I was like, oh, fuck yeah. So I came over. I ruined a pair of shoes. I didn't even care. We slid down the hill. We were just having a blast. Yeah. And I was in my 20s. It was so much fun.
There's a thing on TikTok going around. It's like, why was you guys drank from a water hose? Was a sink not an option? And for me, we did have the talk, you know, like if you're outside, you're outside. If you're inside, you're inside.
Yes.
You know, that's a real thing.
Yes.
And it wasn't so much that we couldn't go, like, let's say if we were really thirsty. Like, here's the thing. Why would we go inside and drink water when there's water outside?
So,
you know, like,
I could come in, but you only get like 1 or 2 tries. And then after that, you either stay in or you have to stay out.
Yeah. Like it was a reason, like we wouldn't get in trouble for coming inside.
Yeah.
But it was very clear, like, you're going to the restroom.
Yeah.
Or you're going to eat.
Yes.
Or you're staying inside.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't come in for water because it's already outside.
Yeah. I was actually listening to a comedian today and he was like, your mama did not play. She was like, you better stay outside because you ain't coming back in here. And I was thinking about that today.
I distinctly remember one time actually being punished by my mother made me go to my room and she's like, go to sleep. And it was freaking daytime.
Yes.
Like my room was illuminated by the sun. Like that is a legit punishment.
Yes.
That I've had.
Me too.
And the worst part is my brother got to play outside because I could hear him and his little friends in the backyard.
Isn't that the worst? I had a window in my room and it had a screen on it and the screen had holes in it. And I was trying to like throw paper and stuff out to my friends to communicate. Be like, as I'm like crying because I was stuck in my room and I was just like, I can't go outside and play.
Yep.
And that was such a punishment.
Yeah.
Such a punishment. That's what, okay, so I do like this movie in the sense that it gives you that feel, that nostalgia of being outside with your friends,
exploring
having fun.
And discovering.
Yeah. And there's no rules. You don't get in trouble. No one's watching you.
Yeah.
You're just having fun being a kid. Mm-hmm. Like we were talking about when the movie was going and the kids were skipping. And we both have seen
That's another TikTok.
Yeah, that TikTok video where the lady is trying to remember how to skip. And people in the parking lot are trying to do it with her. And I had the thought, I was like, I don't remember how to skip.
Oh, I know how to skip. I still do that from time to time.
I know how to skip. But like, does my body remember how to skip?
No,
that's the problem.
I have skipped in recent times.
I love it.
Shall I do a demonstration later?
Yeah, I think if I tried, I probably would look just as ridiculous as she did. Because I was like, how can you not do it? And then like, I was trying to think. And I was like, yep, nope, she's right. I probably wouldn't be able to do it either. But had you had said, Sarah, it's raining outside, I don't feel like recording a movie today. Let's go outside and play. I would have been so excited. So excited.
See, I'm already thinking, I have contacts in my eyes.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, I did take a shower today, so this is clean hair. You know, I'm going to be cold, so I'm going to have to take a warm bath. Because that's what after a shower, you take a bath, you know? Well, I do.
After a shower, you take a bath?
I mean, after playing in the rain, you take a bath. Okay. Not that I've done it since I was a child, but like mentally, if I got wet and was playing in the rain, I would have to take a bath. Same thing, like when you were a kid and you were playing in the snow, when you came back inside, you immediately had to take a hot bath.
No.
Oh.
We didn't do that.
Oh, we did. Because your body was cold, so you had to warm back up.
That's too warm too fast. That actually can be bad for you. You have to gradually warm up.
Yeah, well, it hasn't killed me yet.
Let's see here. I had made some other notes in this movie.
So another thing this remind me of is that there is actually a treasure out in the world right now that is up for grabs. It's by Mr. Forrest. And I keep meaning to buy his book, which now I'm totally going to do it now that I remembered. But basically, he was a young Boy Scout, Eagle Scout, park ranger. He loves, Mother Nature. And he became a millionaire. And basically, he made a treasure chest and it's full of valuables. It's going to, I feel like he put a really famous painting in there as one item. And not only that, he went and dug it up a few years ago just to see if it was still there, and it was still there. Wow. Now, my plan when I find it is I am going to, because I don't know what's in it.
Yeah.
There's rumors that there's a famous painting in there, but I don't know. But I would probably not take everything just so that the next person can have something to find.
Oh, that's nice.
I know. That, or I have been scouting new areas to rebury it, half of the treasure somewhere else. The only problem is I always have my phone with me.
Yeah.
And somebody could always just hack my phone and find out where I've been because of Google Maps and find it.
True.
So I would have to scout this place without my phone and then bury it.
So I feel like Pepsi was very prominent in this movie. So
the Pepsi Wars, the Cola Wars.
Yeah, Pepsi, Domino's, Baby Ruth was all very highly shown in this movie.
It's nothing different from teen movies today.
I was just like, wow, they're really hyping up the Pepsi. And then they had a Purple Rain t-shirt was on Mouth. And there was something else. I don't remember the other thing. Oh, well. But I was just like, wow, they're really pimping out that Pepsi. There was 3 different Pepsi sightings in the movie. I was like, wow, so 80s.
Yeah, and I still don't see. Okay, so I guess the only people that I see drink Pepsi or buy Pepsi, if there are other options, is older people.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I work in a store, so
that's true.
It's generally the older people that are buying the Pepsi.
Well, we're also in Texas. It's more of a Coke and Dr. Pepper place, so it's a little skewed.
Yeah,
I'd say. But in the Northeast, I think they're more Pepsi than Coke. So I don't know. The Truffle Shuffle is a little dance that Chunk does. They pretty much humiliate him the entire movie.
Yeah. Which is typical because they always have to have the comic relief, the minority, the virgin, the loud mouth.
Yeah.
So,
speaking of the loud mouth, his name is Mouth.
Stupid.
And they have a Rosalita. She is coming to help the parents pack. And she doesn't speak English. And so Mouth is the only one that speaks. Is it Portuguese? Is that what they said?
I thought they said Spanish.
Could be Spanish. And so he's trying to tell her what the mom is saying. And he is not doing it correctly. And he tells her.
Now, listen. The mom didn't want her going upstairs, and he ensured that she would not go upstairs.
That is true.
Okay.
True. But separating all the drugs, none of the drugs can be in the same place.
Would you want your weed mixed with your heroin, mixed with your cocaine?
No.
Exactly.
However, you're not going to get your stuff packed that way. I mean, he did a great job translating. It just wasn't what he was supposed to translate. And actually, so I read, she actually does speak English, and
Well, duh.
yeah, and she had to help him with some of the pronunciations so he could get it correct in the movie. I thought, oh, that's nice.
I would have liked to have seen the other children attempt Spanish because the mom said, you kids have been learning Spanish, and we only hear the one kid. So,
Yeah. What was I going to say? Oh, someone said to me yesterday or the day before, I don't know. They were talking about you at work. They're like, oh, that must be good because she's bilingual. And I was like, well, you don't know what kind of call you're going to get. So you don't know if you're going to get, they're not going to just send you ones that need Spanish. I was like, that's why we have a foreign language number that people can call. And then I went by today and you were speaking Spanish to somebody. I was like, well, hey, that.
yeah, like, if I get a fresh new claim that's Spanish, I just take it.
Oh, that's nice.
Just so that nobody else has to suffer.
Yeah, it really is. As someone who had to call that line before, and I'd have to say something to them, and then they would have to translate it to them, and then they would be talking, and I'm like, you said a lot more stuff than I said, and it would just go back and forth for a while, and then all of a sudden they'd be like, okay.
So I got a call today, and she immediately picks up and she's like, Arabic, please. So I was like, okay. So I call. And as soon as the Arabic speaker gets on the phone, she goes on a 5-minute rant. And I'm just thinking, oh shit, what did we do?
Yeah.
Nope. Very first call. She was mad. She was driving and a piece of metal flew off of an 18-wheeler and damaged her car. And the guy didn't stop. The cops wouldn't come out. And she was just having a bad day.
Yeah.
And that was like a 5-minute rant before I could find out what happened. But the whole time I'm thinking like, oh my God, we done fucked up. So yeah.
It happens, man. Sometimes they would call and it would be something so simple. And I was just like, oh, well, thanks.
Yeah.
I was like, I kind of wasted money on this one, but all right. Let's see here. So Chunk finds ice cream and a dead body.
Yeah.
And that was real weird. Like, how long has that ice cream been there?
Right?
They're all eating it.
Okay. Like, first of all, they have terrible plumbing, because they have brown water.
Yeah.
So, nothing there has been washed. I feel like they haven't been in town long enough. Like, did they just come into town? They found this place and then one dude commits a crime and gets caught already. And then they bust him out. Like, I'm sorry. But Sarah, if I go to jail and you bust me out, we are not going to go back to the hideout. We're going to have to find a new location. We need to leave the area.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, they were so smart about getting into that weird truck race.
Yeah, that was smart.
And then they just went downhill from there.
Yeah. I mean, it feels like this is a time before Google.
Yeah.
Like they really, because them finding that cabin was pure luck. That or the mother had come into this town back in the day and she remembered that restaurant being out there.
Yeah.
And then just by chance, that restaurant is now out of business because it was out of the ways from everything.
Yeah.
Like, is there an old billboard sign directing you to this old abandoned restaurant? Like, how do you even come across that?
I don't know. It was very weird. I had a thought, but it went away. Yeah, I don't know. It's very strange. I kind of feel like we were thrust in the middle of all of this.
I would love to know more about them.
Yeah, I feel like a little backstory would be good. But also, there's a lot of times we didn't understand what they were saying.
No.
So there is that. It was good to have Susan translate at times.
Yeah. Because we don't know what he was in jail for or what they were wanted for.
There is a puke prank that happens.
So during that whole spiel, all I could think about was Ant-Man when Luis tells his stories.
Oh,
but he tells good stories.
He does tell good stories.
He knows how to tell a story.
Right? So in essence, he has fake puke on him, goes to the balcony at the theater, pretends to make gagging noises, and then dumps the vomit on the people below. That would be my absolute nightmare.
I heard it as he bought fake puke.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I said he brought puke with him or whatever.
Okay.
Fake stuff. And then pretends he's throwing up and then dumps it on them. Fake puke or not, I wouldn't want to be a part of that.
Nope.
I wouldn't want to be anywhere near that. As soon as I heard it and I heard it above me, you're going to see a Sarah-size hole out that wall or door or anywhere. You'd see a puff of smoke and I would just be gone because I'd be get the hell out of there. Because I'm not going to sit there and just hear it behind me.
Yep.
And just sit there. And then he said everybody starts vomiting after that. Oh, God, that'd be my nightmare.
So when you said hole in the wall, I thought about the boogie traps. Of course, it's unrealistic.
Yeah.
But what's more unrealistic is that they basically set all of these boogie traps off. They make it through the challenge, and the other people literally just walk through.
Yeah.
Like,
I thought they were supposed to close up after you pass
exactly. Like completely destroy it.
Yeah.
But no, the bad guys just waltzed right through, literally, not without its own mayhem. But if they were behind them just a little bit further, they would have made it through no problem.
Yeah. Easy peasy.
Like if you hadn't tried so hard to catch them, apprehend them, then you would have had smooth sailing and you would have eventually caught them on the boat.
Yep. There was a lot of weird stuff that happened.
Yeah. I mean, it's a kid's movie. I understand that. But
some reality,
Yeah.
Like, at least with Kevin, when he makes all of his stuff, they look like things kids would have made. And they really get put in their place every time, they go against him. These people, they basically fell down and then got up and then continued on and was able to continue.
Yeah.
It's just like, what the hell?
Yep.
It was stupid.
Yeah, it was.
I'm sorry, Susan, that you love this movie.
Well, she truly enjoyed it as a child.
She truly enjoyed it today.
Well, no, it's different when you rewatch something and you have that nostalgia.
Yeah, true.
It kind of takes you back to that mentality. Yeah. So.
That's true. All right. Anything else from this movie?
So when they finally get to the captain's room, the captain and a few of his men are sitting around the table with all of the gold. Why are they at the table?
They're counting their loot.
So did they die instantly? Here's the thing. If I'm dying a slow death, then I'm going to be in my bed or laying down or something.
Yeah.
So I could see maybe the last person trying to be brave and trying to power through. But I just don't understand how they all died.
Dysentery?
Dude, dysentery would have you on the bed. Okay. Yeah. You know what that is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you would be on the bed.
Trying to think. What did sailors get?
Scurvy?
Yeah. Scurvy.
Yeah, I can see one person dying at the table, which is the captain with all of his gold. But I can't see the other folks dying around the table with him.
No.
I
Maybe
mean,
it's solidarity?
like a last meal, like we're all just going to sit here and die together.
Uh-huh.
Sitting up, not like leaning down, putting your head down on the table.
Hey, that's how I'd want to go with all my friends. Sitting around the table around me gold.
I mean, I guess I can see the lure of being found by my gold, but I would also be wearing that shit.
Oh, okay. Maybe they're all sitting there, right? And they're like, if you get up from this table, I'm taking me gold. And he's like, you're not taking me gold from me. I'm going to sit here until you fall asleep. And then they all just sat there until they died.
Here's the thing. When we first hear the story of One-Eye Willie, it sounds like in the end, he was the one by himself with all of this gold and was trying to protect it.
Uh-huh.
So all of them were in on it and decided they were all just going to sit here and die together.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because obviously it's going to take a crew to build these boogie traps and like everything.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't
So
know.
did you ever hear the story of Blackbeard? He had like 3 ships or 2 ships or whatever. And he was always on the big ship. And so I think, you know, the Spanish or the British were coming. So they were like, okay, here's what we're going to do. So they moved all the gold into the smaller boat. And then he took only his most trusted people into the little boat. And because it was smaller, they were able to sail faster. And he took off and abandoned his other people.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a bad captain.
What? That is hella smart. Like, okay, instead of splitting this gold 100 ways, now we only have to split it 20 ways. There's no honor among thieves, Sarah. I thought you knew this.
We go back and forth between
What? Listen, now
you were like, that is so smart. I'm like, that is so wrong.
listen. Do you know why history is so important? It's so that you don't repeat it. Okay. I know this trick. So I know when we find a treasure and you're like, let's move all the money over here. Like, no, I'm going with you with that money. Okay. We are not splitting up into 2 cars. Okay. Unless I'm going in that car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, unlike everybody else, I would split it with everybody. Okay, so I make a lot of gift bags. I've been very known to make gift bags. And it doesn't matter if I like you or not like you. Everybody gets the same amount until the very end when I have extra. And then, only then, may I put some in other people's if I know they really like it. Like my friend Blair always gave her an extra Kit Kat because she loves Kit Kats. But generally whatever was left over, then I got to eat that. But it was never a ton. It was only like 1 or 2 pieces
Random
of each
ones.
things. Because I'm so incredibly nice. Not nice. Stupid. I'm stupid. Because I could keep it for myself, but no. I try to be nice. Even though no one's going to know. No one's sitting there with me. I'm by myself. But I will know. Mm-hmm. So ergo, people should trust me. Because I'm not going to screw people over.
Meanwhile, I don't give a fuck and I just throw shit in bags and you get what you get. Seriously. Like you get what you get. I don't care. I'm not being mean to you. I'm not singling. And then on top of that, like, I don't even put names in bags. I just give you what you get. Like, here's your bag. Like, whatever.
Even with bags, I take the time to like this person likes this color, so they get this bag, and this person likes this one.
My favorite gift wrap is foil paper. It's and the shiny side up.
I like it.
Yeah, I do too.
I like it. I like it.
Yep. You can always tell my gifts.
Let's see here. Oh, speaking of the booby traps, so they've been sitting there for a long time, right?
That's another thing, right?
Okay.
The rope.
Yeah. It is not at all disgusting and covered in like spider webs and stuff. It was smooth sailing. The water is always flowing. How is this happening? It's been forever. How is it happening?
So with the water, it's probably just an underwater stream. Those things exist. My concern is the rope. The rope would have lost its integrity.
Yeah.
You know, if it's wet, it's humid. If it's humid, then that iron that's holding up stuff is going to rust.
Yeah.
You know, the sails on the boat, it's going to like be so fragile. That boat would have like rotted.
Yeah.
Like there's so many little things like that like it just degrades with time if it's not protected. And clearly it hasn't been.
Yeah. It was unbelievable.
Yeah. Like I can see maybe the rolling ball that I could see working because that's just gravity, and the metal frame, I could see that still being workable, but
Plants would have taken over it, you know?
yeah, but like the giant rocks that were hanging from rope and metal, steel, I don't think that would have survived.
No. No. It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
I did like that they liked to preserve everybody's wishes.
Yeah.
That was nice.
I love the part when he took back his wish.
I like that he said, "Oh, Martin Sheen." I was like, "Oh, that's funny."
Yep.
Yes, he took back his wish because none of his wishes ever came true.
Yep.
And that's a sad realization.
Yep. But it's better that he figured it out now as a kid.
True. Oh, I don't know. When I found out, hopefully no children are listening. When I found out that Santa Claus was not real, it bothered me.
I never really believed that he existed.
My mom was really hardcore about it.
My mother wasn't. Our parents weren't.
Still to this day, she's like, "You better go to bed. Santa's going to come tomorrow." And then my dad will be like, "And you know Santa likes cookies." So they still try to pretend, even though we all know what's up.
Yeah.
But when I was in second grade and I saw my grandpa writing a note back to me that I left for him, I was devastated. Devastated. I went back to my room and I was just like, it's not real.
Yeah, I never believed.
That's why you never peek. It's always wrong to peek because you find out things. You never meet your heroes.
Actually, I think that's probably what happened. I found the presents in my mother's closet.
Yeah.
So, whatever.
Yeah, don't peek, man.
It's too late. It's too late. I've looked behind the curtain. Yeah. I've seen the man.
I saw a gift once and it made me sad because it was what I wanted, but then I wasn't going to be able to open it and be surprised on Christmas.
You didn't throw a big enough fit and start crying and then got your gift early.
Why would I do that?
One time I remember I found my cousin's birthday gift and I wanted it. and I threw a fit and I cried, and guess what? I got it. Yeah. I remember I had Rainbow Bright, and I guess my cousin was going to get the patty cake, the green one, and then I got both. So it worked out for me.
You're the devil.
What?
Have you ever seen The Bad Seed?
No.
Dude, you are the bad seed.
I am not. I was a child. I see a toy. I want it. It's not my fault. My parents were not good at hiding things, or they easily broke. Okay. I think it made me stronger. I would not break. Be like, no, that's not for you. You already got a doll. Wow. Again, I was a child, Sarah. Okay. I was like 4, maybe 5.
She killed a girl with her tap shoe. No, not a girl. It was a guy. She killed a guy with her tap shoe. The girl in The Bad Seed. It haunts me to this day.
Okay.
You should see the movie. It's creepy.
I'll add it to the list.
It's in black and white. It's she. I have to find the photo before you leave because it's creepy.
Meh.
But anyways, that's some shit she would do. Very Angelica from the Rugrats. That's what you're.
I
giving
never
me
watched
right
the
now.
Rugrats.
What?
No.
You may have been just a hair too old. I was probably a hair too old to watch
That,
it.
and I didn't grow up with cable, remember?
Oh, that's true.
I grew up in the streets.
Where we had more than 3 pieces of wood to build the treehouse. No, okay. After you got the first level down, what was going to be your plan had you not got vertigo?
Okay. So we actually had, so the tree had a natural notch. So really we only had two ladders, right? And then I put down one plank across, the horizontal branch. And then I was going to hammer. Thinking about it now, I mean, I was trying to do some Jenga shit because that was never going to work.
Yeah.
But we were going to start with the bottom and work our way up, and it just never happened. So that's okay.
This girl has crazy eyes.
But yeah, going into abandoned buildings, that was fun. I remember one time we found like an open sewer and we threw shit in there.
That's The Bad Seed. She's crazy looking. Sorry.
But yeah.
You found a sewer.
Yeah, it was open. It stunk. We were like, oh my God, maybe there's a dead body in there, But it's possible, but honestly, it was an open sewer hole. So I don't know. But yeah, we threw shit in there. But of course, this was out like in nowhere. So it's not like we had shit to throw in there. So we just threw like branches and leaves and rocks and shit, whatever you could find.
Whatever.
And then we moved on. So, yeah.
Trying to think. We didn't do anything like that. Nope. We just did our 3 little planks all day. And then we went our separate ways and we never finished it again.
Yep.
There was only a couple of times where like all the neighborhood kids were out, and that was one of them. There was another when we had a huge water gun fight. Huge.
That was another thing. When one kid got something, then all of the other kids got it too.
Like what?
Like the water guns.
Oh.
That didn't happen with you guys?
No.
So if your neighbor got a water gun, you wouldn't beg your parents for a water gun so you can go have a water gun fight with the neighbor?
No.
Oh. Well, anyways, that's how all the kids ended up with all the same shit. My brother got a paintball gun. The other kids got paintball guns. Then they would go out into the forest and they would shoot each other. I remember there was this really weird, strange plant, and it grew these giant, weird, like fruits. And I remember we would throw them at each other, like stupid shit like that. Like we would just throw it at each other. Why? Yeah. Why would we do that?
Because you were kids and it was there.
And it was painful because just imagine it was like the size smaller than a grapefruit. Well, no. It was about the size of a grapefruit. It's about the size of your hand.
Yeah.
Just imagine it heavier. And it looked kind of like artichoke.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. I don't know what the hell that was.
I don't know.
But we would chunk it at each other. And then if you got hit and it hurt, you couldn't cry.
You really were on the streets, weren't you? Jesus.
like it hurt. It really hurt.
I was in the suburbs.
I lived in the city.
Yeah, we lived in the suburbs and we were wholesome, I guess.
So just hearing you say that, you know what I thought of?
What?
I thought of Trevor Noah telling the story of how he would play with bricks.
Yes. I've heard that story.
like mind you, we had balls, okay? But we would throw these weird looking fruits at each other, and we did crack it open, okay? And it kind of looked like
snot.
No. Like imagine like the palm drink.
Oh, okay.
What's that fruit?
A coconut?
No.
Oh, God.
Palm, P-O-M.
Oh, a grapefruit?
No.
Oh.
Persephone ate it with the seeds. A pomegranate.
Pomegranate, okay.
Yeah, it kind of looked like that on the inside. But imagine if all of the inside was all just dried up. Ew. Yeah, that's what made it so hard. Dude, now I wonder what the hell that plant was.
I don't know, man. You know what we did? We would stand outside under this tree and wait for the helicopters to fall. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
So
the pecans?
No. So it was like this little, okay. So a propeller of a wing, right? You know that shape of like a wing or a ceiling fan. Mm-hmm. Okay. Take that, but then take like a edamame, but just one bean. So that shape. So you have like a lima bean shape attached to a propeller.
Okay.
So they would fall off the tree, and when they would fall kind of like a propeller or like a helicopter blade, and we would just watch those fall. And then if you could gather a whole bunch, you throw them in the air and they all go like down. That's the life in the suburbs.
So what we would do, I remember growing up, there was this like bush that had these little red circles. And you know, your parents, I don't know if it's fact or false, but my mother's like, don't eat that because you're going to die. It's going to kill you, you know? And so what we would do is we would get them and then we would
crush them.
Well, that, and we would crush them, and then we would put it over ant piles so they would eat it and they would die. But they never died. What? Do you like ants, Sarah?
Like, we didn't try to kill them.
We would also put gasoline on them and light them on fire.
Okay. This is an audio podcast, but I want people to know that when she tells me these things, she is dead-eyed, staring at me.
These are true stories.
Not blinking, just
facts.
Cold, dead eyes telling me these things.
Facts.
Jesus, we used to put gasoline on them.
Yeah, we would.
Fire.
And you know who taught us that? My dad. He would do it. And then okay, so we had, like the mower that had the gasoline.
Yeah.
So obviously we always had gasoline on hand. And my dad's not there all the time. Yeah. And if he is, he's inside, not outside. So, we have gasoline. There's ants. Let's light them on fire. What? One of us was
look at you.
One of us was standing ready with the water hose, okay? We were very safe, Sarah. We would take paper towels, we would roll it up, and then we would light that on fire, and then we would drop that flaming napkin onto the ant pile. Oh my God.
Would you laugh maniacally after you did it?
No, we would just watch it burn. What? We would also take little sticks and stick it into their little houses and like whoosh it around and then like run away and like watch from a distance, Just kid stuff, Sarah. We would pour water on them and drown them. We have a lot of ants here.
Meanwhile,
we were doing our part.
Meanwhile, in Nebraska, we're just sitting there watching the helicopters fall, collecting berries.
That's what happens when you don't have internet. It hasn't even been it hasn't been mass produced for the public.
We would bring our boombacks out and we would dance to songs. So there was two things we would do. One, we would do dances to songs. Two, there was 2 houses that were for sale forever. Because houses, it used to take a long time before they would sell, right? And there was this one abandoned house for a really long time. My friend got to have the porch, one got to have the stairs, and one got to have the driveway. And those were our rooms. And we would play weird house. I don't know why, but different levels. The porch person was the most fancy person. Mm-hmm. But because
they had real shelter.
But the person in the driveway had the whole entire driveway. Why they weren't the fancy one, I have no idea. But to each their own. Mm-hmm. We had a lot of rules. Or we would play on the boat that was in our yard for whatever reason. Or in my dad's truck. He had an old truck and we used to sit in it.
As a kid, I always wanted to make a pool in the back of my dad's truck.
Right?
And my dad, I distinctly remember one time telling my dad that. He's like, oh, you can't do that because it has holes in it. It's like, holes? He's like, yeah, why do you think it doesn't fill up when it rains? And I was like, oh. And then like the next time I looked back there, I noticed the holes.
Yeah.
And then years later, like now, you see people put tarps in the back of their trucks.
You're like, why weren't you that smart, Dad?
I know. When I saw that, I was like, why didn't my dad do that?
Yeah, we're just one tarp away from a pool.
Yeah, I feel like I was robbed because as a child, I thought of the truck pool, but I didn't have the mental capacity to figure out the whole problem.
Yeah.
I feel like my dad should have come in there and be like, oh, I know how to solve that.
I feel like you were probably trying to solve the holes by like plugging them with something instead of looking at it as a whole. Mm-hmm. Be like, well, maybe a trash liner might work.
Yeah, it might have,
Some duct tape in a trash bag.
It might have.
I think it would have.
Mm-hmm. They're lucky that we didn't think of that. Because imagine all the water we would have wasted because we would not have succeeded.
Yeah, probably not.
No, we would. I know for a fact we would not have succeeded and we would have wasted so much water.
Yeah.
I remember one time when I was little, I was watering the grass and I was trying to fill the holes. You know how when it gets super hot, like the grass starts cracking?
No.
Yeah. And then my mom came out. She's like, what are you doing? She's like, I'm trying to fill up the hole. She got so mad at me and turned off the water and made me go inside.
We never had that problem in Nebraska because it floods all the time.
Well, here in Texas, it gets so dry, it starts cracking.
Yeah. I've seen it here now, obviously, but as a kid in Nebraska, no.
Did you ever try to dig a hole to China?
No, I saw that on an episode of Full House.
I have tried that. My dad told me no when he realized what I was. See, first, you're just digging a hole. They're like, whatever. I hadn't gotten that deep. Mind you, it's hard digging a hole. Like that ground is hard. I was working so hard. Yeah. I wasn't even knee deep, honestly. Like maybe cankles, like my shins. Like I was not even to my knees. And my dad finally asked what the hell I was doing. He's like, I'm going to dig a hole to China. And he's like, if you hit any of the plumbing or the wiring, the city's going to come and charge you. And then you're going to have to get a job. And of course, they scare you. And you're like, oh, shit. He's like, because there's underground pipes and stuff. And I'm like, oh, shit, I don't want to pay for that.
I better put the dirt back.
Yeah. And then, the dirt never fits right.
No, it really doesn't. You're like, how? Okay.
Yeah.
Weird.
And mind you, I don't even spend that much time outside. Yeah. Just think of my brother who spent a lot more time outside. Like he had a bike and he would just be gone with his little friends driving over the freeway passes. Like, the bridge. Like they would get on that little freeway bridge and just be gone into the sunset.
Yeah, we didn't do that. Mm-hmm. Well, April.
Yes.
If people want to regale us of their stories of childhood, where can they find us?
Two Chicks Talkin Flicks over on Instagram.
And if you want to let us know about other stuff, you can find us at twochickstalkinflicks@gmail.com.
Guess what? We have a Facebook, Two Chicks Talkin Flicks.
And we have a TikTok, Two Chicks Talkin Flicks.
Yes. And don't forget, if you see a logo with two ducks, that's us.
Two Chicks
Talkin Flicks.
Bye.
Toodles.
So, April.
Sarah.
How would you rate this movie?
I would not watch this again.
Oh, no.
I'd probably give it a 3 out of 10. I definitely could have used caption.
Yeah, probably. I would give it more a 5 out of 10. Reminded me of childhood. It's not my jam. It's other people's jam. It's just not my jam. Well, until next time.
Bye.
Toodles. This episode was produced by Two Chicks Talkin Flicks. Music was produced by Michael Girvani. If you like this episode, please like and subscribe. If you'd like to be a part of the show, have a movie suggestion, or just want to give us some love, you can email us at twochickstalkinflicks@gmail.com. Thanks, guys. Toodles.